All right, guys, welcome to Dropping Dimes. I'm your host, Flavo Rihanna, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys, so yes, basketball's here. All right, Knicks looking pretty good. All right, looking pretty good. I know they had a blunder of a loss against little hiccup against the Orlando Magic. That type of stuff is gonna happen, okay? But the Knicks they're on the up and coming, in my opinion. They're on the up and coming. They ended up having what's it called? They ended up losing to the Magic 110-104. Okay, they first three games in the books they beat what's it called they beat the Celtics, they beat the Magic in Orlando, they lost to the Magic. I kind of hate when that happens because I really hate when you're facing a team back to back in the regular season. Like you're gonna make adjustments right on the fly. Like you already know exactly what each player is gonna do. You just saw them the other game. All right, this isn't a playoff series or anything like that. So why are you having these teams face each other back to back? Like I hate when that happens. I believe that happened with the Lakers and Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. Right, I gotta look that up because I believe Lakers and Warriors they face each other back to back. Like I really can't stand when that happens in the regular season, regardless of any sport. Like you shouldn't be facing each other back to back unless it's baseball. And baseball is one of those few things where, where you have to have a minimum of a 2-game series, maybe even a 3-game series if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so can't stand when that happens. Really, hated that. I think the Knicks would have done great if they didn't face the. Oh, that's what it was. They faced the Clippers. I'm sorry, it was two LA teams. Warriors faced the Clippers. But anyways, really hate when that happens. But I think Knicks would have done fine. But they were close. They lost by 6 points. But moving on forward, Knicks look phenomenal. They had started off the season, faced the Celtics. Home opener, one of the best games that I've seen on TV. I really wish I would have bought tickets for that game as opposed to, I'm going to the game tomorrow to go see the Sixers coming to the Garden to face the New York Knicks. The despicable, franchise that is the Sixers. Right? One thing that I've really liked about Sixers was the fact that Allen Iverson played for the team, but all the drama that comes in with Ben Simmons and he doesn't want to play. This feeds into the Knicks' hands. I believe the Knicks have a great opportunity on capitalizing, in my opinion, on beating the Sixers. Ben Simmons, for whatever he is, doesn't want to play. Huge difference maker, all right? And you're going to have, Tyrese Maxey as your point guard filling in for Ben Simmons' role. But, you have with the Knicks, Julius Randle. I love the Evan Fournier pickup. This guy's a walking bucket, in my opinion. He was on the Orlando for many years. I believe he was with Denver at one point too. But he played for the Celtics last year, and this guy could easily drop you 18 points. I don't think we need him to drop 18 points to the Knicks just because Julius Randle, he can, man-child anybody in the NBA that's not, over 7 feet tall, outside of maybe LeBron. But Julius Randle can, push himself. Who do the Sixers have at the power forward position that's going to be who? Tobias Harris? Tobias Harris is nowhere near of a defense stopper. So I could see Julius Randle coming in tomorrow, just bullying his way into the post and just dominating. I believe this New York Knicks team, in my opinion, has, high potential. They were the 4 seed last year. Do I expect them to be the 4 seed this year? No. I think that with the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks improving their two of their teams. Miami ended up adding in PJ Tucker, who was part of the Milwaukee Bucks team, okay? So I could see them being a top 3 team, all right? Indiana has always been very pesky, all right? Chicago improves immensely, okay? We just saw how they ended up playing. They're 3-0 from what I'm knowing, led by Alex Caruso, which I would have never thought that would be happening. Lonzo Ball, who's playing phenomenal in the Windy City, alongside with Zach LaVine, who finally is getting help and playing alongside with DeMar DeRozan. So far, so good with the Chicago Bulls. I didn't like the pickup of having DeRozan and LaVine because they're pretty much two of the same players, okay? Only thing is that, both these guys are going to need the ball, but, so far it's working in Chicago. But the Knicks, in my opinion, have where do they stand for this season? Honestly, I really do think that they're gonna be maybe a 50+ win team. I think they might be a 5th or 6th seed in my opinion. Um, what's it called? They caught a lot of people off guard, but I just think that Tom Thibodeau is one of those type of people that he does not like to low manage. Doesn't like to low manage. His foot is on the accelerator button. All right, on the pedal. He's making sure these guys are grinded out. I mean, you saw what he ended up doing in the preseason. I mean, he took it as serious as he normally takes it as a regular season game, and he was not willing to budge. I love that about Tom Thibodeau. I mean, you need that type of a coach with a young group of players, because the fact that you have RJ Barrett, who's playing good defensively. Okay, Julius Randle, who improved immensely under Tom Thibodeau. All right, he ended up winning Most Improved Player of the Year. He's trying to return back into form as an All-NBA player, okay? Following up whatever he had last season, going into this season. I like the direction of the Knicks. I believe that this team has, high ceiling. Will they get past the first round this year? That, in my opinion, it really depends on who they're going to be facing. If they're facing somebody like the Bulls, I certainly do feel like they have the opportunity, led by Derrick Rose, led by Emmanuel Quickly. If Mitchell Robinson is able to continue to be healthy, all right, he doesn't look so healthy right now because he's recovering from that injury, but if he stays healthy this year, this guy's a defensive anchor. I love that they have him as a center, okay? And then you have Nerlens as well. You have big bodies in the center position. They're pretty much loaded. They have a lot of depth. I think personally the Knicks, their ceiling is the second round, and then maybe next year they can really push in for contending with the East, contending with your Brooklyns, with your Milwaukees, okay, with your Miami Heats, okay. I really do believe that they may be just 1 year away from really contending to get into that Eastern Conference Finals, all right. But I think this year their ceiling is what's it called? Is a second round. I think they can handle, Philadelphia. All right. No Ben Simmons. I mean, you could just focus on Joel Embiid. I know Joel Embiid is a problem for somebody like a Mitchell Robinson because this guy has a lot of girth. He's gonna back you down to the post. He's gonna be able to back down Noel. He's gonna be able to knock back down Robinson. Okay. This guy can shoot from the outside. I think this guy Embiid has MVP aspirations for this year. He didn't play a lot last year. Missed out the MVP because of lack of games, and they're giving it to the Joker. So we'll see what happens for tomorrow. But for the Knicks, I think they got this. I think they really do got this. I'm not saying this as a New Yorker, but I'm just saying this because of the fact that the Knicks have the ability with that loaded depth, with Evan Fournier, with RJ Barrett, who, let's see if he's able to go with his right hand instead of going with his left hand. I think the ceiling is high for these New York Knicks. I think Tom Thibodeau has them in the right direction. Do I think Tom Thibodeau will be able to guide them to a NBA Finals or a Larry O'Brien trophy? I don't think so, just because I think you may need a better coach in the long run to get you where you need to go. But I think Tom Thibodeau is perfect where he's at right now. He's as a culture setter for these New York Knicks. I mean, RJ Barrett was never associated with defense, but now with Tom Thibodeau behind the helm, coaching this team, I mean, you see where he's able to go. All right. Love what we get for Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is a Skywalker, but this guy's also now he's getting the trust of Thibodeau. I think if with the depth that this team has, this team can go as high as the second round, depending on who they face. But yeah, guys, I'm very excited with these New York Knicks. I mean, had a great game against the Magic in Game 2. Had a great game against the Celtics. Just came short in Game 3 against the Magic on yesterday. All right, but facing the facing Sixers, then facing the Bulls in Chicago, they should definitely be able to beat up on the Pelicans on the 30th, and then the Raptors as well too. November 3rd might be a little bit tough against the Pacers, but I think they should be able to get it. Don't see them beating the Bucks whatsoever, and they should dominate the Cavaliers on November 7th. But yeah, guys, that's the next couple of games for the Knicks. Guys, let me know what you guys think about what's going to happen with the Knicks. What are your predictions for the New York Knicks this year? Are they going to be able to be going into the second round this year? Do you got them going into the playoffs? Do you even got them possibly even going to the Eastern Conference? All right. And what do you think is going to be necessary for this team to flourish going on to this year? All right. Until then, guys, I'm Flavio Oriana. that is dropping dimes for you guys. All right, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, and have a good one. And yeah, let's go Knicks.